You have been pushing. Not today specifically, though today too, probably. But in the larger sense, the ongoing, continuous, background sense that has been running so long, you have stopped noticing it is running at all. You push through the tiredness. You push through the doubt. You push through the moments when something in you quietly suggests that maybe, just maybe, you could stop for a while. That things might not fall apart if you loosened your grip for one evening. That the world has a way of continuing, even when you are not personally holding it together. You do not listen to that voice. You keep pushing. And here you are, lying in the dark, exhausted in the particular way of someone who has been forcing things for too long. Not just tired, wrung out. The kind of tired that sleep alone does not always fix, because it is not just the body that is depleted. It is the part of you that has been clenching, the part that grips, the part that manages and controls and anticipates and drives forward and will not, cannot simply let go. That part is exhausted tonight. And tonight, for the first time in a long time, I am going to ask it to stop. Not permanently. Not forever. Simply for these next few hours. Simply for the length of this story and the sleep that follows it. I am going to ask you to do the one thing that is harder for you than almost anything else. I am going to ask you to be carried. Not to carry, not to manage, not to steer or plan or hold anything together. Simply to lie back and be held and let something else do the work for a while. The hammock is already there. The trees are already waiting. The light is already going golden at the edge of the meadow. All you have to do is come. Welcome to Charon Sleep Stories. My name is Charon, your storyteller, your companion tonight, at the edge of sleep, on this particular kind of night. The kind where the exhaustion is real, but the letting go feels almost impossible. Where the body wants rest, but the hands gripping. I know this kind of night well, and I know the particular person it visits. Someone capable, someone responsible, someone who has learned through experience, through necessity, through being the person that other people rely on. That if they do not hold things together, things do not get held. That if they do not push, things do not move. That if they stop, even briefly, something important will be missed. You have learned this so thoroughly that you have forgotten it is a learned thing. You have forgotten that it is not the only way. Tonight, I want to show you something different. Not a lesson, not an instruction, simply an experience. A few hours of what it feels like to be held rather than to hold, to be carried rather than to carry, to let the current do the work while you, for once, simply float. Before we begin, one soft question. Let it come and go without holding it. Where in the world are you tonight? Is the night outside your window dark and still? Can you hear anything? The distant sound of traffic, the wind in something, the particular quality of silence that belongs to your specific corner of the world? And what time is it for you right now? Let the question form, and then let it dissolve. It does not matter. Time is not what tonight is about. One small thing before we go further. If CharonSleepStories has been here for you on the hard nights, if this voice has given you somewhere to go when your mind was too loud and too tight and too full, please consider subscribing. It costs nothing. It takes 3 seconds. And it means that every night like this one has somewhere to land. If you already have, thank you. You are the reason this exists. Now, let that go. The meadow is waiting. And the light there is extraordinary right now. Before we go anywhere, come back to your body. Because when you have been forcing and pushing and holding all day, the body remembers. It keeps the shape of the effort. Your shoulders are probably higher than they need to be. Your hands are probably not as open as they could be. Your jaw is probably carrying something that the day left there and nobody thought to remove. Simply notice this without judgment. without the urge to fix it immediately and efficiently the way you fix everything else. Simply notice. And then one long, slow breath. In through your nose. Not a forced breath. Not a performed breath. Simply the next natural breath your body was going to take anyway. Received a little more fully than usual. Let it travel all the way down, past your chest, past your stomach, into the very base of your lungs, where breath rarely reaches during a busy day.
Feel the expansion of it, the fullness, and then out. A long, slow, audible exhale through your mouth. Let it carry something with it. Not everything, just the surface, the topmost layer of whatever has been held today. Again, breathing in, slowly, fully, all the way down, and out, releasing, softening, the grip loosening by 1 degree. One more. In. And out. Completely. Until the breath is gone. And the body is still. And you are here. Simply here. In the dark. In your bed. With nothing required of you right now. Except this. This breath. This moment. This beginning. Let your awareness settle at the top of your head. Feel the weight of it against the pillow. That solid, warm, familiar weight. The muscles of your scalp releasing. Your forehead smoothing. The small lines of concentration and effort that live there. Let them go. Let your forehead become as smooth and still as the surface of a meadow before the wind moves through it. Your eyes closed and soft, not searching, not monitoring, simply resting behind their lids in the particular darkness that belongs only to them. Your jaw. Let it drop slightly. Let the teeth part. Let the whole lower half of your face go soft and heavy. This is where control lives in the face, in the jaw, in the set of the mouth, in the slight forward thrust of determination. Let all of it go. Let your face become the face of someone who has finished being determined for the day. Down through your neck, the muscles along the sides and back. Long, tired, holding the weight of a head that has been thinking very hard for a very long time. Breathe into them. And as you exhale, feel them release one by one, like fingers uncurling from something they have been gripping. Your shoulders here. This is where it lives most completely in your body. The forcing, the pushing, the holding. Right here in these shoulders that have been raised, embraced, and carrying since the moment you woke up this morning. Breathe directly into them. A full, slow, completely intentional breath right into the center of whatever is gathered there. And as you exhale, let them drop. Not a little. All the way. Further than you think they can go. Let them be heavy. Let them be done. Let the mattress receive their full weight without any assistance from you whatsoever. The relaxation flows down through your upper arms, your elbows, your forearms, into your wrists. Feel the wrists uncurl. The tendons there releasing the last of today's grip. Into your hands. Feel your hands now. Open. Empty. Palms facing upward or simply resting soft and still. There is nothing in your hands tonight. Nothing to hold. Nothing to manage. Nothing to carry forward into tomorrow. Simply hands. Warm, living, human hands, open to the dark. Down through your chest, your lungs expanding with each inhale, releasing completely with each exhale. Your heart at the center. That faithful, steady, completely self-sufficient beat that has never once needed your help to keep going. Feel it. Simply feel it. The most essential thing in you, doing its essential work entirely without your input. That is what surrender feels like. Not absence. Not emptiness. Simply the recognition that some things work better without your interference. Your heart has always known this. Down into your belly. Soft and warm. Rising and falling on its own. Your body breathing itself. that ancient intelligence that predates every decision you have ever made, that will continue long after tonight's worries have been completely forgotten.
Let it breathe. Your lower back releasing into the mattress. The whole length of your spine softening. Your hips heavy and warm and wide. Your thighs, the long muscles there, front and back, surrendering completely. Your knees, your calves, your ankles, and your feet, heavy as stones, warm as summer earth, completely and finally still. Your whole body, from the crown of your head to the soles of your feet, is deeply, completely, warmly at rest. Take 3 slow breaths into all of it now. In, filling completely every part of you. Out, releasing everything that does not belong to tonight. In, deeper. Out, further. In, all the way. Out, all the way. Good. Now come with me. The meadow is just ahead. Allow your imagination to take you somewhere. Not by effort, simply by allowing, simply by being still enough that the image arrives on its own. The way the right memory arrives when you stop trying to remember it. Complete and vivid and already there. You are standing at the edge of a meadow. It is dusk. The particular dusk of a long summer day. That hour when the light does not simply fade, but transforms. The sun is low and behind you, and everything it touches has turned to gold. The grass of the meadow, long and soft, and moving in a slow, unhurried breeze, is gold. The wild flowers scattered through it, white and pale blue, and the faintest pink, are gold at their edges. The air itself seems to hold the light rather than simply transmit it, as if the whole world has been dipped in something warm and slow and generous. It is the most beautiful light of the entire day, and it belongs to this hour, this in-between hour, this neither day nor night hour, more completely than the light of noon or morning ever could. Because this light knows it is ending. Because this light has done its work and is now, without hurry or regret, beginning to let go.
There is something worth learning in that. But not yet. First, the meadow. You step into it. The grass reaches your knees, soft against your legs as you move through it. The breeze is warm, not hot, simply warm. The stored warmth of a day that gave everything it had and is now releasing it back into the evening air. It moves through your hair, across your face, through the thin fabric of whatever you are wearing. The gentlest possible touch, the most effortless possible welcome. You walk slowly, not toward anything specific, simply into the meadow, into the gold, into the warm breeze and the soft grass, and the extraordinary light that is turning everything it touches into something worth looking at. And then, the edge of the meadow where the trees begin.
Two old trees, enormous, ancient, their trunks wider than you could put your arms around, their bark deeply furrowed and silver gray, their canopies spreading wide and high and full, great dark shapes against the golden sky. They stand perhaps 4 meters apart, facing each other across that small distance, with the particular ease of things that have been neighbors for a very long time. And between them, a hammock, strung low and wide between the two trunks. Old canvas, faded to a warm cream color, softened by years of sun and rain and the weight of bodies that came here before you and found exactly what you are about to find. The hammock hangs in a gentle curve, lowest at the center, swaying almost imperceptibly in the breeze. A slow, patient movement, like breathing, like something alive. You cross the meadow toward it. The grass parts for you. The light follows you. The breeze stays with you all the way to the edge of the trees, where the air is slightly cooler and the smell of bark and earth joins the smell of grass and evening. You stand beside the hammock. You look at it for a moment, and something in you, the part that is always assessing, always calculating, always asking whether this is the right choice, the efficient choice, the responsible choice, simply goes quiet. Because there is only one right choice here. And your body already knows it. You sit on the edge of the hammock,
feel it receive your weight. The canvas stretching slightly, the ropes adjusting, the whole structure finding its new balance with you in it, not fighting you, not requiring anything from you, simply accommodating you, the way good support always does, quietly, completely, without making you feel the effort of it. You lie back. The hammock takes you. That is the only way to describe it. It does not simply hold you, it takes you. The canvas wraps slightly around your sides, cradling you. The curve of it lifts your feet a little, tilts your head back a little, positions your body in the particular way that hammocks have always positioned bodies. Slightly reclined, slightly open, arms naturally falling to the sides, chest open toward the sky.
You did not choose this position. The hammock chose it for you. And this, right here, in this small physical surrender, is the first real lesson of tonight. You let something else decide. And it decided perfectly above you, through the canopy of the two old trees. The sky is extraordinary. Deep gold at the horizon, where you can glimpse it through the leaves. Fading upward through amber and rose into the first pale suggestion of the blue that will become night. One star, the first star, the evening star, visible already in the highest part of the sky, steady and clear and impossibly far. The leaves above you move in the breeze, a slow, continuous, completely effortless movement. Each leaf turning on its stem, catching the light, releasing it, turning again. They do not decide to move. They do not effort the movement. Simply the breeze comes and they respond. And the breeze moves on and they settle. And the breeze comes again. You watch them. And the hammock sways slowly, gently. A movement so small, it is almost not a movement at all. Simply a suggestion of movement. A breath of motion. The hammock responding to the same breeze.
with the same effortless, unforced, completely natural ease. You are being rocked. Not dramatically. Simply rocked. The way you were rocked once. A very long time ago. Before you learned that you were supposed to hold yourself upright. The way the body remembers being rocked, even when the mind has long since forgotten. Feel it. Let it in.
Let the hammock do what it is doing. Without your help, without your management, without any adjustment or optimization from you whatsoever. Simply lie there and be rocked. Your body is growing heavier with every sway. Your mind is growing quieter with every breath. You are going deeper. Let me tell you a small story. Let my voice carry it to you. The way the breeze carries the warmth of the day without effort, without announcement, simply present. A long time ago, in a valley where a wide river ran between low green hills, there lived a woman who was known throughout the surrounding villages for her extraordinary capability. She could do anything. She did do everything. From before sunrise to long after dark. She worked, managing her household, her land, her family, her neighbors' needs, the dozen small crises that every community produces, and that someone capable always ends up absorbing. She was not unhappy. She was simply always moving, always pushing, always the one who, when something needed to happen, made it happen through the force of her own considerable will. One spring, a flood came. Not a dangerous flood. Simply the river rising, as rivers do in spring, spreading into the lower fields, making the usual paths impassable. The woman, practical as always,
decided to cross the river by boat to reach the market on the other side. She got into the boat. She picked up the oars, and she began to row. She rowed hard, the way she did everything, with focus, with effort, with the full force of her intention applied to the problem in front of her. She watched the far bank, and she pulled, and she pushed, and she worked.
But the river was high and fast from the flood, and no matter how hard she rowed, she did not seem to be making progress. The far bank stayed where it was. The current pushed her sideways. The more she fought it, the more exhausted she became. And the more exhausted she became, the harder she fought. An old fisherman in a small boat drifted past her, moving downstream with no apparent effort. He is not even rowing, she noticed with some irritation. He caught her eye and raised a hand in greeting. "You are fighting the river," he called across the water. "I am trying to cross it," she called back. He smiled. "The same thing from where I am sitting." She stopped rowing for a moment, more from exhaustion than from any intention to listen. "The river," the fisherman said, "does not care how hard you push. It will take you where it takes you. The question is whether you want to fight it all the way there, or let it show you the crossing it already knows." She looked at him for a long moment. Then she looked at the current, really looked at it. Perhaps for the first time, she saw the way it moved, the eddies and the slower water near the banks, the diagonal line of calmer flow that crossed toward the far side at an angle she had not considered because she had been too busy pushing straight ahead. She put down one oar. She let the current take her slightly downstream, slightly sideways, in a direction that felt wrong, that felt like giving up, that felt, for a moment, like losing. And then the far bank was there. Not where she had been aiming, downstream a little, but there. Solid ground. The other side. She sat in the boat for a long moment after she landed. Then she picked up the oars and went back for another load. But she never fought the river the same way again. Sit with that for a moment. Simply sit with it. The river already knows the crossing. You do not have to force it. You only have to learn to read the current. The light has changed while the story was being told. The gold is deeper now, richer, more amber, beginning its slow transformation into the rose and violet that precede the dark. The sky above the canopy has shifted. The blue has deepened. The evening star is brighter than it was. And now there are 2 stars, and now 3, appearing one by one in the darkening sky above the meadow, as if they have been there all along, simply waiting for the light to dim enough to reveal them. The breeze is the same. Steady, warm, moving through the canopy above you, moving the hammock beneath you, present and consistent, and completely indifferent to whether you are awake or asleep, forcing or surrendering, gripping or letting go. It moves regardless. The hammock sways regardless. The evening comes regardless. Feel that. Feel the extraordinary relief of things that happen regardless. The leaves do not need your permission to move. The stars do not need your attention to appear. The evening does not need your management to arrive. Everything that is happening right now in this meadow, at this edge of this day, in this golden and dimming and completely extraordinary light, all of it is happening entirely without your input. And it is perfect. It is more than perfect. It is the kind of beautiful that only happens when no one is trying to make it happen. I want to ask you something now. Gently. No pressure. No requirement. What is the thing you have been forcing most? Not managing. Forcing. That specific thing in your life right now, where you have been pushing harder and harder against something that perhaps does not want to be pushed. Where you have been rowing straight into the current, exhausting yourself, making slow progress at tremendous cost. When somewhere nearby, there is a diagonal line of calmer water that you have not let yourself consider, because considering it would feel like giving up. You know what it is. Simply let it surface. Just for a moment. Just here, in the safety of this hammock, in this meadow, in this extraordinary evening light. Hold it. Feel how heavy it is. And then, gently, without drama, without any requirement that you solve it tonight, simply
way the river opened for the woman in the boat. Simply open. And let the current show you the awesome impact it does. You don't have to force it.
Feel the hammock beneath you. Every part of your body completely surrendered to its support. The canvas holding your back. The curve of it cradling your hips. The gentle sway of it doing the only work that needs doing right now. Your head heavy and still. Your face smooth and soft. The face of someone who has set something down. Your shoulders completely released. The furthest they have been from your ears all day. Done carrying. Done holding. Done. Your chest rising and falling, open to the sky above you. Your heart beating, present and faithful and free. Your arms fallen to the sides of the hammock. Your hands open, empty, warm. Your belly soft, rising gently, falling completely. Your lower back cradled by the canvas. Your hips heavy and still. Your legs long and warm. Your feet falling slightly outward. The hammock holding their weight without being asked. Your whole body, from the top of your head to the tips of your toes, completely, warmly, deeply held, not by your own effort, by the hammock, by the trees that hold the hammock, by the earth that holds the trees, by something larger and older and more patient than any effort you could make. Feel that chain of holding. Feel how far back it goes. Feel how little of it requires anything from you. Simply be held. The evening is darkening above you. The stars are multiplying. The breeze is still moving. The hammock
is still swaying. And you are going deeper with every breath. Heavier with every sway. More dissolved into the warmth and the dark and the ancient, patient holding of this place. Take one last slow breath in.
All the way in, filling completely every part of you. Hold it at the top, just for a moment. Feel the fullness of a single breath that required nothing from you except the willingness to receive it. And out, all the way out, slowly, completely, until the lungs are soft and empty and still.
And in that space, no forcing, no pushing, no gripping, simply the hammock and the trees and the evening and the sleep that has been waiting patiently, without complaint, for exactly as long as it needed to wait, for you to finally, completely stop standing in its way. One last breath. In slowly. Feel it. And out. All the way. Slowly. Until there is nothing left. Nothing left but the sway. And the dark. And the stars. Appearing one by one in the sky above the meadow. And the sleep that is already here. Already here. Already. There is something the river knows that the rower forgets. The crossing already exists. It has always existed. Long before the boat arrived, long before the rower picked up the oars, long before the effort began, the current was already moving in the direction of the far bank. The path was already there. The water was already doing the work. The forcing was never necessary. It was only familiar. This is what tonight asks you to remember. Not as a criticism, not as a correction, simply as a reminder that has been waiting for a quiet moment to arrive.
You are capable of extraordinary things. You know this. The people around you know this. The evidence of your life confirms it at every turn. But capability is not the same as control. And effort is not the same as progress. And the most powerful thing you can do on some nights, on nights exactly like this one, is nothing. Simply nothing. Simply lie in the hammock between the two old trees at the edge of the meadow.
and let the evening come, and let the stars appear, and let the breeze move through, and let the hammock do its ancient, simple, completely sufficient work. You do not have to hold tonight together. Tonight is already held. You do not have to push towards sleep. Sleep is already here. You do not have to force anything. Not tonight. Not from this hammock. Not from this meadow, where the light has gone golden, and then amber, and then rose, and is now the deep, soft, star-filled dark of a summer night that is holding you, all of you, every tired and capable and hard-working part of you, without asking a single thing in return. Simply let go. The hammock has you.
The trees have the hammock. The earth has the trees. And the night has all of it. Going now. Going. Gone. Sleep well. You have earned this rest in every possible way. But more than that, you deserve it simply because you are here. Simply because you are. All is quiet. All is still. All is held. Good night from Charon Sleep Stories.